Go forth, do great things for your mind, your body, and your American spirit. We're reading the establishment of the White House Faith Office, which established February 7th, 2025. By the authority vested in me as President by the Constitution and laws of the United States of America, and to assist faith-based entities, community organizations, and house of worship in their efforts to strengthen American families, promote work and self-sufficiency, and protect religious liberty, it is hereby ordered. Section 1, Policy. Faith-based entities, community organizations, and the house of worship have tremendous ability to serve individuals, families, and communities through the means that are different from the government, and with capacity and effectiveness that often exceeds that of government. These organizations lift people up to keep families strong and solve problems at the local level. The executive branch wants faith-based entities, community organizations, and house of worship to the fullest extent permitted by law to compete on a level playing field for grants, contracts, programs, and other federal funding opportunities. The efforts of faith-based entities, community organizations, and house of worship are essential to strengthening families and revitalizing the communities. And federal government welcomes the opportunities to partner with such organizations through innovative, measurable, and outcome-driven initiatives. The executive branch is committed to ensuring that all executive departments and agencies honor and enforce the Constitution's guarantee of religious liberty and to ending any form of religious discrimination by the federal government. Section 2, Amendments to the Executive Orders. A. Executive Order 13198 of January 29, 2001, agency responsibilities with respect to faith-based community initiatives. Executive Order 13279 of December 2027, Equal Protection Law that for faith-based and community organizations, as amended by Executive Order 13559 of November 17, 2010, Fundamental Principles and Policy-Making Criteria for Partnership with Faith-Based and Other Organizations, Neighborhood, Executive Order 13280, Responsibilities of the Department of Agriculture and Agency Executive Order, Executive 13342, Responsibilities of the Commerce and Veterans Affairs and the Small Business with respect to faith-based, and Executive Order 13397, Responsibility of the Department of Homeland Security. 1, 2, and B. 1. Substituting White House Faith for White House Faith-Based and Community Initiatives, or White House OFBC, as it appears in the order, substituting Center of Faith for Center of Faith-Based and Community Initiatives, and Center for Faith-Based. So they just replaced the wording on it. B. Executive Order 13279, as amended by Executive Order 13559, is further amended by striking Section 2H and redesignating Sections 2.1 and 2J as Sections 2H and I, respectively. They just moved it over. Section 3. Establishment of the White House Faith Office. A. There's established within the Executive Office of the President, EOP, White House Faith Office shall have responsibility in the executive branch to empower faith-based entities, community organizations, and house of worship to serve families and communities. The office shall be housed in Domestic Policy Council and headed by a senior advisor to the White House Faith Office and supported by other positions it considers appropriate. In carrying out this order, the office shall work with the Domestic Policy Council, Office of Public Liaison, and Center of Faith-Based established in Executive Order 13198, Executive Order 13280, Executive Order 13342, and EO 13397 as amendment in 2A and 2 of this order. White House Faith Office functions. What will it do? To the extent permitted by the law, the office shall, from time to time, consult with and seek information and experts of various faith community leaders identify the White House Faith-Based Office and EOP's components, including those from the outside federal government and those from state, local, and tribal governments. These experts and leaders shall be identified based on their experience in a broad range of areas with faith-based entities, community organizations, and house of worship operating, including protecting women and children, strengthening marriage and family, lifting up individuals through work and self-sufficiency, defending religious liberty, combating anti-Semitic, anti-Christian, and additional forms of anti-religious bias. promoting foster care and adoption programs in partnership with faith-based entities providing wholesome and effective education, preventing and reducing crime and facilitating prison reentry, promoting recovery from substance use disorder, and fostering flourishing minds. 2. Making recommendations to the President through assistant to the President for domestic policy regarding changes to policy, programs, and practices as aspect of my administration's policy agenda that affect the ability of faith-based entities, community organizations, and house of worship to serve families and communities. 3. Convene meetings with representatives for the Center for Faith-Based and representatives for across the agencies as appropriate. 4. Advise implementation on throughout the federal government on those aspects of administration policy aimed at enabling the entities, community organizations, and house of worship to better serve the families and communities. 5. Show the innovative initiative, faith-based entities, community organizations, and house of worship serve and strengthen individuals' faith, families, and communities throughout the United States. 6. Coordinate with all agencies to implement training and education through the country for faith-based grantee to build their capacity for procure grants. 7. Support agencies in developing and implementing training education regarding religious liberties, exceptions, accommodations, or exemptions. 8. Consult with public and private business regarding their policies for employee volunteerism, charitable giving, and payroll deductions. 9. Coordinate with agencies on identifying and promoting grant opportunities for nonprofit-based entities, community organizations, and house of worship, especially those experienced with public funding but that operate effective programs. 10. Work in collaboration with the Attorney General or designee to the Attorney General, identify concerns raised by faith-based entities, community organizations, and the house of worship about any failure the executive branch to enforce constitutional and federal statutory programs, protection for religious liberty. And 11. Identify proposed means to reduce burdens on the free exercise of religion, including legislative, regulatory, and other barriers, including the full active participation of the faith-based entities, community organizations, and house of worship in government-funded or government-conducted activities and programs. B. Agencies shall, to the extent permitted by law, provide such information, support, and assistance to the office may assist the office in fulfilling this order. C. The directors of each Center of Faith shall oversee respective agencies' efforts to assist the office in carrying out this order and shall report in such efforts to the agency leadership in the office. Agencies that lack a Center of Faith designate or appoint a faith liaison within the agency to oversee the agency's efforts to assist the office in carrying out this order as to report such efforts to the agency leadership in the office. All such agencies shall designate or appoint such faith liaisons within 90 days of this order. Section 5. Severability. If any provisions of this order or application of this any pertaining to personal circumstance is held to be invalid, the remainder of this order and the application of its provisions to any other persons or circumstance shall not be affected thereby. Lastly, Section 6 are general provisions. A. Nothing in this order shall be construed to impair otherwise affect 1. The authority granted by law, executive department, agency, or head thereof, or 2. The functions of the director of the Office of Management and Budget relating to the budgetary, administrative, legal, legislative proposals. B. This order shall be implemented consistent with applicable law and subject to the availability of appropriations. And C. This order is not intended to and does not create legal any right to benefit, substantive, procedural, or enforceable law and equity by any party such against the United States, its department, agencies, or entities, its officers, employees, or agencies of the person. The White House, February 7, 2025.